Yes, sir. You can start. Yes.
Let's start with a small story here. Once upon a time, there are two woodcutters. They will go to the forest. వాళ్ళు చెట్లు నరకడానికి వుడ్ కోసం ఫారెస్ట్ కి వెళ్తా ఉంటారు. ఇద్దరు ఫ్రెండ్స్. Well, seriously, they will go into deep forest and they started cutting the trees. ఫస్ట్ అతను కంటిన్యూస్ గా ట్రీస్ కట్ చేస్తానే ఉంటాడు అనమాట. సో హీఈస్ కటింగ్ మోర్ ట్రీస్. ద అదర్ పర్సన్ ఏం చేస్తాడు, ఒక చెట్టు నరికిన తర్వాత హీ విల్ షార్పెన్ హిస్ యాక్స్ అండ్ అగైన్ హీ స్టార్టెడ్ కటింగ్ ద వుడ్. సో ఎట్ ద ఎండ్ ఆఫ్ ద డే ఎవరు ఎక్కువ వుడ్ కట్ చేసి ఉంటారు? Person A is continuously cutting the trees. Okay, person B is in between sharpening the axe and cutting the trees. So who will be cutting more trees at the end of the day? Person B. Good, good. So why person B is cutting more trees means is sharpening his axe. I mean, the same way it applies to us. If you keep updating yourself, if you keep brushing up your knowledge, like what you have learned every day, you need to brush up what you are learned every day, like at least 10 to 15 minutes, you have to brush up your knowledge so that you will remember. So otherwise, if you listen the class and just ignore it, you will forget it. Yeah, great. So first we'll brush up the things what we learned in our previous session quickly for 5-10 minutes, and then we'll move on to the next session. Okay. So we had learned in our previous session what is tax deducted at source. Tax deducted at source is the deduction of tax as and when the transaction takes place, that is when the payment is made or payable, whichever is earlier. So this is tax deducted at source. Source means source of income for the receiver. That's what we learned. So why they deduct the tax? To track the assessee from whom we are deducting the tax. So whether TDS is deducted including the GST. So the question is whether we need to deduct the TDS including the GST. No, because GST component is not the income for the receiver. We should not deduct the tax and the GST portion. We just need to deduct the tax on the income portion. So these are various tax rate summary I have given. Then 194A coming to interest other than interest on securities. So if the interest in the financial year, whole year, if it is exceed 5,000, whether the payer is any other person, if the payer is a banking company, cooperative society, post office, any other, it is a 40,000. For senior citizen, 50,000. Interest payable by the bank. If bank is paying you interest, it is more than 40,000, they will deduct the TDS. For the senior citizens, if it is more than 50,000, they will deduct the TDS. The rate of tax deduction is 10%. If a person deducting tax other than banking company and post office, it is 5,000. Suppose you given money to your friend on interest basis. So if he is paying more than 5,000 interest, you have to deduct the tax at 10%. So exceptions: interest earned on saving bank account, it is not covered. Interest on income tax refund not covered. Interest paid by partnership firm to the partner, this is also not covered. 194C is a contract. What is contract? Contract including advertising, broadcasting, and telecasting, including production of programs and broadcasting and telecasting. Carriage of goods and passengers by any other mode other than railways. So carriage of goods అంటే ఏమనుకున్నాం మనము, కార్గో కానీ లేదా క్యారేజ్ ఆఫ్ ప్యాసింజర్స్ అంటే ఏమనుకున్న బసెస్, మన కంపెనీస్ ట్రాన్స్పోర్ట్ ప్రొవైడ్ చేస్తాము, అది కూడా అండర్ కాంట్రాక్ట్ వస్తుంది అనుకో. ద importance of this definition, remembering this definition, is when you are booking any head of expenditure, you should know whether a TDS is applicable on that or not. So manufacturing or supply of a product according to the requirement of the specification of the customer by using material purchased from the customer. Job work. ఏదైనా సబ్ కాంట్రాక్ట్ బ్యాక్ టు బ్యాక్ బేస్ ఇచ్చినట్టు మీకు పారాగన్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ చెప్పాను. So in that case also TDS will be attract on 194C basis. So rate, if the recipient of individual or HUF 1%, all other cases 2%. All other cases at a partnership firm gani company. Just a second. So threshold limit is a bit tricky. If an individual payment does not exceed 30,000, TDS need not to be deducted. Aggregate payment does not exceed 1 lakh, need not to be deducted any TDS. So here we see a couple of instances where they paid 29,999 TDS is not applicable. Whether paid 30,001, so individual payment exceeded 30,000, so TDS is applicable on that. Paid 25,000 4 times, so 1 lakh, so it's not exceeded 1 lakh, TDS is not applicable. Paid 31,500 and 40,000, so it is more than 30,000, TDS is applicable on both. So paid 25,000 3 times and 30,000 4th time, on which TDS amount is to be deducted. So basically it's exceeded 1 lakh, and whole amount needs to be deducted at TDS from the last payment. So if the invoice value is 40,000 and paid 20,000 back, so it is at the time of booking or payment, right? So at the time of booking, we might have deducted the TDS. There is no question of payment here. So then we move on to 194H, commission or brokerage. So commission or brokerage definition, if we analyze commission or brokerage, includes any payment received or receivable directly or indirectly by a person acting on behalf of other person. So this is what TDS is applicable at the rate of 5%. The commission amount is more than 15,000, we need to deduct the TDS. So then we move on to rent. Rent means any payment by whatever name called under lease or sublease. Even if sometimes people take on sublease, suppose I have taken office on rent. I have only, there is a 20 seats space over there. I have only 10 people. So I might have sublease to someone. So on that rent also I need to charge the, deduct the TDS. If I'm paying rent, sublease, if you given on sublease also, they have to deduct the TDS. It is applicable on land, building, land apparent to the building, machinery, plant, equipment, furniture, fittings. So all these TDS is applicable. So difference between advance and deposit, that is made it clear, difference between advance and deposit. So everywhere we give the advance set of 2 to 3 months, and the TDS is applicable. Deposit, it is refundable deposit, it is not the receipt. So at the end of the term, when you are returning the property, they will give it back to us, the deposit. So on deposit, this TDS is not applicable, but whereas on advance it is applicable. So rate of TDS and plant of machinery 5%, rent of land, building, furniture is 10%. Threshold limit is 2,40,000 per month. Sorry, per annum. 194J fee for professional or technical services or royalty. So this is what the definition we read. Who are all the professions: legal, architecture, engineering profession, accountancy, advertising, interior decorator, technical consultancy, and other professions notified by CBDT under section 44A. If you go to section 44A, you will come to know what are all the professions listed under that section. Technical services, royalty definition we read. So threshold limit is 30,000, more than 30,000, and rate of TDS is 10%. TDS on sale of property. This is any sum paid by way of consideration for a transfer of any immovable property other than agricultural land. If you buy agricultural land, you need not to deduct any TDS. If you buy anything other than agricultural land or land, building, anything, you need to deduct the TDS. Threshold limit is 50 lakhs. And the rate of rate of TDS is 1%. So how to calculate threshold limit in case of joint property? If wife and husband, like with the brothers, a property value is 60 lakhs enough. So if it is, even though it is more than 50 lakhs, you need not to deduct the TDS because individually it is less than 50 lakhs. Okay, whether to take the registration value or the payment made to the builder. So it is basically this is debatable, and in the section they clearly mentioned registration value, but registration value is much lower than what we are paying to the builder. In reality, you have to get the TDS and the payments made to the builder. Suppose your registration value is 60 lakhs and you are paying to the builder around 1.2 crores. So you have to get the TDS on 1.2 crores at the rate of 1%. So whether club membership, car park, electricity, water fee, maintenance, whatever name card. So whether these are need to be included. Suppose my property value is 40 lakhs and including all these becoming to 50 lakhs, 51 lakhs. So you need to deduct the TDS because these all facilities need to be considered as included in the value of the property. So this is till the previous slide we have completed in the previous session. So what is lower or non-deduction certificate? So basically, as I said in the previous session, I think this slide has also covered. Any person having a taxable income less than threshold limit. So what is our threshold limit? 5 lakhs in case of old regime and 7 lakhs in case of new regime. Okay. So they have to go to the assessing officer and submit form 13 saying that, so my income is less than threshold limit. So please give us the lower deduction or non-deduction certificate so that he will take that and give it to the person who is deducting the TDS so that he will not deduct the TDS. Okay. This is for form 13 for all these sections. So in case of banks, if you take bank interest, like if you have a deposit, interest on fixed deposit, on recurring deposit, anything. So if your threshold limit is less than 5 lakhs, if you don't have income more than 5 lakhs, then you have to submit form 15G. For senior citizen 15H. Usually these forms, bankers will ask you in the month of March, please submit this so that we will not deduct the TDS. Otherwise, they will deduct the TDS. And for the application of lower deduction and non-deduction, one should have a PAN. If you don't have a PAN, they won't give this lower deduction and non-deduction certificate. So due date of payment of TDS. So due date for the payment of TDS is 7th of the following month. Suppose this is the month of May. Whatever the tax you have deducted in the month of May, whenever you are booking the invoice, you might be booking the invoices from 1st to 31st. So on all those invoices, or you might have paid advances. So you know, right? I mean, TDS is applicable on earlier of payment or booking of the invoices. So what are all the payments made or what are all the invoices booked during the previous month? You need to discharge a liability by the 7th of the following. So by 7th of June, you should pay the TDS. In case of a purchase of property, that is what they said, 30 days from the end of the month in which the TDS is deducted. Suppose you deducted the TDS, in the month of May. So 30 days from the end of the month. So this is the end of the month. May is the 31st May is the end of the month. Within 30 days, I mean June, end of June, you should pay, deduct the TDS. Sorry, you should deposit the TDS. Whether I can adjust excess payment in the next quarter, yes, very much is available. Whether I can adjust the excess payment made under one section to another section, this is also is very much available and many people are confused on this. I made it clear in the previous session. So coming to returns. Q1 April to June, what are all we deducted the TDS? Like April payment we might have made in the month of June. May payment you might have done in the month of June. June payment you might have done in the month of July. 7th of July. So all the payments made. So when you are making the payment, what are all the information you will fill in? Anybody paid the TDS previously? What are all the details we'll fill in the challan, TDS challan? No, nobody. Okay. When we are filling the challan, what we will do? I mean, we just fill in our TAN number and assessment year section under which we are deducting the TDS and the amount. These four are the basic details we'll fill in the challan. So after that payment, when we are filing the returns, so suppose we have deduct the TDS of 1 lakh under section 194C, 2 lakhs under section 194G, around 5 lakhs under section 194B. So all these details we will fill in the returns when we are filing. So this much of TDS deducted to the particular person. So that when you are filing the TDS return, what will happen? The TDS which you have deducted, with the TDS which you have deducted will go and sit into the corresponding person's TDS amount, TDS account. So you deducted and paid to their account. So if you go and see in the 26 AS, you can see the TDS amount deducted by these guys. So the purpose of filing the return is to give the credit to the particular person to whom you are deducted. So there are 4 quarters. Each quarter, April to June, you have to file by 31st July, July to September, 31st October, October to December, 31st January, January to March, 31st May. So once you file all these returns, you can see all the TDS amounts in your form 16 or 16A. So unless they file these returns, even though they deduct the TDS from your account, unless they file these returns, you cannot see the TDS amount in your account. So clear? The purpose of filing returns, you are clear, just type clear. If you are clear, just type clear. Otherwise, I'll explain again. Please. Is this clear? Sayed, clear. Others? Anirudh. Okay. Anyone else? Clear? Clear? Okay, Anirudh is not clear, right? So Anirudh, next we are moving on to filing the TDS return. It will be clear to you. Like I will explain you how it comes. Okay. So forms to use for TDS filing. 24Q for salaries, 24Q for other than salaries, 24QB for the sale of immovable property. We'll take you to the forms. So are you able to see my screen at the Excel sheet? Are you able to see my screen Excel sheet form 24?
Sir, no, Excel sheet is not visible. It's only this 24Q is only this forms
Correct.
numbers are there. That's all.
Okay, okay. I'm just maybe I need to stop presenting that and now is it okay?
Yes, now it's seen.
Yeah. See, one thing I wanted to make it clear to you. There are different softwares to file the TDS. Some people might be filing through Binman. Some people might be filing through Genius. Some people directly filing through the online, offline file from NSDL. But the details in all these softwares is the similar. These details we need to fill in every software. Okay. So this is the one I'm using for Genius now. Okay. Form 24Q will file for salaries. So the basic details which we'll give here is TAN of the employer, a person who is deducted the tax. PAN of the employer. Okay. Here the name of the employer. If it's a company, company name. If it's the partnership firm, partnership firm name. So name should be the same as the PAN number. Otherwise, it will not take. Please remember this. These details I have taken from one client, so that's why I removed some of the information. Branch, if you have any branch, here you need to give the address of the company, which is there as per PAN. Then town, district, state of the employer, which state the company is located. So PIN code, email ID of the employer is mandatory. Telephone number is not mandatory. Change in the address of the employer is last written. If there is any change, if you put S, then we need to fill the details over here. Here, status of the employer, the government company, other than government company, there are two options here. Name of the person who is responsible for deduction. So basically, we will take the director of the company as a person responsible for deduction. Sometimes they will keep their finance manager. It is depends on their wish. Because all these notices and everything will come to this person. If you give the name, email ID, phone number of this person, so everything will comes to him. So his address, his email ID, his telephone number. So type of the employer here, if you see type of the employer here, company. Type of employer here, if you see association of firms, association of persons, artificial juridical person, body of individuals, firm. So you should select the, depends on the nature of the company, you should select what is the status of the employer. So these are all not mandatory. So here we need to give the PAN of the person responsible for directing the TDS. ఇక్కడ ఇందాక చెప్పాం కదా వాళ్ళ డైరెక్టర్ కానీ లేదంటే వాళ్ళ ఫైనాన్స్ మేనేజర్ కానీ వాళ్ళ పాన్ నెంబర్ కంపల్సరీ ఇక్కడ ఇవ్వాల్సి ఉంటుంది. So next, just a second. Just a second. Unable to move on to others. So then this is the general information. After that, this is the challan detail. So these challans are paid during that particular quarter. You see here, Jan to March. So deposited on. Period here. Okay. The dates are not properly. So this is what the challan details will give here for a particular quarter. Whatever the details you have filled in for a particular quarter, challans payment for a particular quarter, you fill in the details here. And this is under section 194. This is salaries 194A and 194B. That the total income tax deducted is this for challan 1, challan 2, challan 3. For each challan, we'll give a separate number here. Okay, there are 11 challans we paid over the quarter. So if there is an interest for late payment, we enter in the interest column. Okay, here the total tax deposited. Total tax deposited is income tax plus surcharge, cess and everything, and interest also. So the challan details which we enter here is BSR code. All these are mandatory actually. All these details are mandatory. BSR code, date on which you deducted the TDS, bank challan. These are all from the challan. You can see and whether deposited by book entry, no. The challan heading 200, the challan number this is. So after entering each challan, suppose this is challan 1. What is the challan amount? 3,51,062. We need to give the bifurcation this. Anirudh, you will understand now this. The challan number 1. You see here. There are 8 challans we are given here. 11 challans. So 11 challans total. Each challan breakup will give here. Challan number 1. So when we are making the payment, we don't give any information. Every month when we are making the payment, this is the details. So BSR code, challan number, these are all will be generated when you make the payment. When you're filing the returns, see coming here, what you will do, these are all the employees, you deducted the TDS. Each employee bifurcation we are given here. So if you see the amount of TDS here, total, it will be matching to this total, 3,51,062. Here, when you are filling the details, the challan breakup, even 0.001 difference also, it will not find. So you need to match exactly to the challan amount what we had paid. So is this clear here? We need to fill the challan first. Challan first fill చేయాలి. Challan details ఏమైతే పే చేసాము. దాని తర్వాత ఈచ్ చలాన్ లో ఎవరెవరికి టీడీఎస్ డిడక్ట్ చేసాము అనేది బ్రేకప్ ఇక్కడ ఇవ్వాల్సి ఉంది. సో ఈస్ దిస్ క్లియర్? If it is clear, I move on to next slide. Please type clear if it is clear. So it is very simple. Like ఈ చలాన్ పే చేసింది ఎవరెవరికి పే చేసాం అనేది ఇక్కడ బ్రేకప్ ఇస్తాం అంతే. వాళ్ళ కంప్లీట్ డీటెయిల్స్, వాళ్ళ ఎంప్లాయీ ఐడి, సెక్షన్ కోడ్, పాన్ నెంబర్, ఎంప్లాయీ ఐడి ఆల్సో నీడ్ టు బి గివెన్ హియర్, the name of the employee. So after giving this, we need to validate it. Sometimes the name and the PAN number, if it is not matching also, it will not validate. So after filling this, we need to validate it. So what is the taxable amount on which we are deducted? And this is the TDS amount. Total tax deposited, date of deduction, and email ID. So all these challans what we had paid from 1 to 11, each challan, there is a breakup. Each challan, there is a breakup. So whatever we had paid for the quarter, previous quarter, we'll file the returns through this. This is 24Q. And this is 26Q. It is same as general details is same as 24Q. There is no change. Just a second. See, okay, sorry, this is not happening here. I will tell you. Suppose challan number, you take 5, challan number 5. Okay. Section you have taken 194J. This is 1,35,000, 13,52,658 is the income tax. Suppose even though if you have paid a section under 194J, when you are making the payment, you have inadvertently included other section details also. That's what I said. When you are making the payment, you can adjust here. The section code, even if you can keep it here, 194C. 194C. 194C payment also, if by mistake you are included 194J, but when you are giving these details, you can give it here. So it will match to the challan amount. Challan amount is this, we paid under 194J, but we allocated that challan to the different section here. So you can do that always. You got my point? Here it is clear. Here this one is clear. So you paid the TDS under one section when you are making the payment, but when you are filing the returns, you can adjust it to the correct section here. You got my point? Okay, fine. If you are not saying anything, I am understanding that you got it. So in addition to that, there is annexure 1. When you are filing last quarter TDS return, you need to give annexure 2 details also. Annexure 2 details is it should be matching all the details, like it's a summary of first quarter to the fourth quarter. Annexure 1, we will give the only details relating to the fourth quarter. And annexure 2, we need to give the details from first quarter to fourth quarter. That is full year details. Okay. Then move on to our slides. Tax collected at source, this is not much relevant, but the important thing is when you purchase the motor vehicle, they will collect the tax from you. This is not deducted at source, it is collected at source. In addition to the payment what we are making, like if the motor vehicle value is 10 lakhs 1 rupee, if it is 10 lakhs also not applicable. Here in the section they said greater than 10 lakhs. So when you were purchasing any car or motor vehicle more than 10 lakhs, they will collect tax at source. Collect tax at source means, see, earlier when we are making the payment, you will deduct and pay it. Here they will collect from you. Suppose value is 10 lakhs. They will collect TDS, they will collect the TDS at the rate of 1%, TCS, sorry. They will collect the TCS at the rate of 1%, 1% on 10 lakhs. And they will deposit into your account. You can claim it as a credit when you are filing the return. So tax collection at source, one more thing is very important thing. Tax collection at source at the time of selling the goods. So here I can give the clear example difference between 194C. 194C is the TDS versus 206C is the TCS. So there is a clear difference between TDS and TCS. I'll explain you here. The section under section 194Q, what they say is if the seller's turnover, if the buyer's turnover is more than 10 crores, okay, if the buyer's turnover is more than 10 crores, this is 11 crores, and the seller's turnover is 9 crores, transaction value is 60 lakhs. Applicable section is 194Q. So here the criteria is the turnover. If the seller's turnover is more than 10 crores, 206C is applicable, that is TCS. If the buyer's turnover is more than 10 crores, then 194Q is applicable. Okay. See, in the second instance, if you see buyer's turnover is 9 crores and seller's turnover is 11 crores, then 206C is applicable. If the buyer's turnover is 11 crores, seller's turnover is also 11 crores, then 194Q is applicable. The buyer's turnover is 9 crores, seller turnover is 9 crores. See, both the cases 10 crores is not exceeded, so not applicable. If the buyer's turnover is 11 crore, seller's turnover is 11 crores. Here the criteria is more than 50 lakhs. Transaction value is more than 50 lakhs. So then also it is not applicable. So 194Q, what will happen? 194Q is the responsibility of the buyer. So when he is making the payment, he need to deduct the TDS. 206C is seller's responsibility. When he is selling the goods, he need to collect the TCS. When his turnover is exceeding the 10 crores, at the same time, transaction value is exceeding 50 lakhs. This is a bit tricky. Actually, if you are not understanding anything, just ping here. I will explain you again. This is applicable in case of the turnover is more than 10 crores, either from the buyer or from the seller. If it is in seller's case more than 10 crores, 206C TCS is applicable. If the turnover is more than 10 crores in case of buyer, 194Q is applicable. This is TDS on sales or purchases of goods. The rate of TDS or TCS is 0.1%. So if the transaction value in a per annum is less than 40 lakhs, also TDS is not applicable. If the transaction value is more than 50 lakhs, you need to deduct the tax or collect the tax on the excess amount. Excess amount means more than 50 lakhs. Suppose 60 lakhs turnover, we need to deduct the tax or collect the tax at the rate of 0.1% on next 10 lakhs, not on 50 lakhs. Suppose there is a transactions like from the beginning of the year till the February, there are 49 lakhs. And in the month of March, there is a 6 lakhs. Again, more transactions are there. Then it is come to 55 lakhs. So in excess of 50 lakhs on 5 lakhs, we need to either collect the TDS or collect the TCS or deduct the TDS at the rate of 1%. Is this clear? Is this clear? The most confusing sections are these two only, whether TDS is applicable on the transaction or TCS is applicable. I prepare the chart so that it will be easy for you. Clear, okay. So you need to see basically two things, whether the turnover is more than 10 crores in the previous financial year, not in the current financial year. It is previous financial year. The buyer's turnover or seller's turnover in the previous financial year. Okay, if it is exceeding the threshold limit of 10 crores, then you can see next thing. First, the turnover is increasing in excess of 10 crores. Next, you will see what is the transaction value in a financial year, current financial year, 60 lakhs, more 50 lakhs, more than 50 lakhs, then you need to deduct the TDS or collect the TCS. Then coming to interest, you can see my slide, right? PowerPoint presentation, right? Are you able to see my PowerPoint presentation? Are you able to see my PowerPoint presentation? Can you
Yes,
please
yes. I mean, it's the same
Okay.
sheet containing those columns. Same thing.
Okay.
Yeah, seeing.
No, PowerPoint presentation I'm presenting now. Are you able to see that?
That's fine. No, we are seeing that challan part of it, please.
Okay. Sorry, just that's what I'm.
Yeah. Challan is only.
So till now, what I said for TCS, TDS, I think you might not got that. So this was not presented previously, right?
Yes, now it's seen, correct.
Yeah, this is 194Q versus 206C. This is what we discussed previously. Sorry, I was under the impression I'm presenting this. So here, if you see buyer's turnover, 11. If you're not seeing something, you can, I mean, chart it here. I don't know. I'm just send it. I'm under the impression I was presenting this. So this is the buyer's turnover, the seller's turnover, transaction value, applicable section. So this is based on the turnover of the buyer or turnover of the seller of the previous financial year. So in any of the previous financial year, if the buyer's turnover is more than 10 crores, then 194Q is applicable. If the seller turnover is more than 10 crores, then 206C is applicable. If both the guys turnover is more than 10 crores, then 194Q is applicable. And after first condition is turnover, second condition is transaction value. After the turnover is increase, I mean more than 10 crores, then the transaction value is more than 50 lakhs, then only 194Q or 206C is applicable. You are clear on this? These are twin conditions. Even though if the turnover is exceeding 10 crores and the transaction value is less than 50 crores, is 50 lakhs, it is not applicable. Even though turnover is less than 9 crores and transaction value is more than 50 lakhs, is also not applicable. Then coming to interest for late payment, the 1% per month or part of the month where TDS is not deducted. Suppose we need to deduct the TDS and pay by the 7th of next month, right? We are not deducted and we are also not paid. Then 1% per month. Okay. If we are deducted but not paid, we are deducted the tax from the particular employer, particular contractor, or particular profession. So then in case 1.5% per month or part of the month where TDS is deducted but not paid. So these two are clear where it is 1% and where it is 1.5%. Quick. Is this clear when we need to, when is the interest of 1% is applicable, when is the interest of 1.5% is applicable? 1% is applicable where we are not deducted and not paid. 1.5% is applicable where we deducted and not paid. So we deducted and kept in our bank account. It's the government money, right? So it is interest rate is more. So penalty for non-payment of TDS. So we are deducted but not paid, then 200 per day, but should not exceed the maximum of TDS amount. So
Is connecting, please, because there is some problem with the. Yes, sir. Srinivas garu, yeah. There was some technical, I mean, like this network problem is coming out.
Sorry, there is a power interruption.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. Sorry, there is a power interruption. So
Okay,
when you deduct
okay.
the TDS and not paid, then is a 200 per day, but not exceed the TDS amount. Suppose your TDS amount is like 1,000 rupees, so it should not exceed the TDS amount. The penalty should not exceed the TDS amount. Penalty for non-filing the returns. The assessing officer may direct the person who fails the statement of filing a TDS or TCS. Maximum penalty is minimum penalty is 10,000 and maximum penalty is 1 lakh. So this is what the TDS sections in brief. And if you have any doubts, let me know.
Sir, they have the doubts, they can put it in the chat box, or do you want them to come on, I mean, like on mic?
They can unmute and
Yeah. Whoever wants to, please.
Sir,
Whoever
1 minute.
wants to, yeah. 1 minute, please. Yes, sir, Srinivas garu. Yeah, please, if you have any queries, you can just interact, unmute the mic and then talk, and then please close the mic again. Yeah, you can.
Sir, 1 minute. Actually, I kept the message here means how we do in a receipt voucher, receipt invoice journal entries, like how we do now, sir. Those invoice one that you showed me, like that only, no, sir. Means entries and all, which you showed me now.
I didn't get you. Can you repeat the question?
Yeah, my question is yeah, like how we do in entries, no, sir. Journal entries.
Okay. Okay.
Those journal entries which we do, like Prasad and company, those journal entries we do. We type the numbers,
Okay.
amount, and
Okay.
then type the narration and all, like that only, no, sir, that you showed me in Excel.
No,
Babu,
those are the TDS returns.
Okay, TDS returns means.
Those are TDS returns. I mean, after you are entering the entries, I mean, payment entries. So the same details need to be filled in here.
Okay.
Party wise, yeah.
Okay. I had that doubts. I kept in a chat box also.
Yeah, maybe missed it.
yes, Mr. Anirudh, you see, I think you have not come to income tax subject. I think you were getting a little bit the confused. If you can just go through the previous video, you will come to know the entire the subject and the content. You can get the clarity. Am I correct, Andy? Okay.
Yes, sir.
So that's
Yes,
the
sir.
reason.
Okay.
Any other person, please?
Yes,
It's
sir.
a very,
Hello.
very important topic. Yes.
Vaibhav here, sir.
Yes, yes. Please mention the name on top first.
Sir, Vaibhav here. Yeah,
Yes.
actually, for TDS, for supply, we have to deduct the TDS or not?
Yeah, for supplies, I mean, I told you, no, if the turnover in the previous year is more than 10 crores and the transaction value in the current financial year is more than 50 lakhs, 0.1% need to be deducted.
Okay. And for service, we have to do it, no, for service.
No, see, if you see all the sections,
Yeah.
okay, each and every section, this is all basically services only, but only 194Q and the 206C is only talking about the supply. That's what I mean, prepare the chart so that you will not confused about the supply part.
Okay, okay. Thank you. And one thing, sir, can we get these Excel sheets in the chat? Can you send me these Excel sheets? What this?
But that Excel sheets basically it is similar in every software. I mean, it is differ from one software to another software, but the content is same. If you want, I can share the blank sheets. That's fine.
Okay, sir. Thank you
I
so
can
much.
share. Yeah.
Anything? So, sir, I think you covered it in a very practical way. All the forms also are shown. And the people, you should not get confused. Actually, these forms are available on the, I mean, in case of the software the company is having, and they are on the
Correct,
net
correct.
also. Am I correct, sir? So that they
Correct,
can
correct.
take it, but the content how to fill up. He has taken on income tax TDS from A to Z, all the sections with the explanations, everything. It is a self-explanatory. If you can see the videos, 2 videos now, first and second. Okay, so sir, shall we close the session? And you have taken, I
Yep.
think we have caused you a lot of inconvenience also in spite
No,
of
no, sir.
your
It's my pleasure,
busy
actually.
schedule. And the students, please, uh, please give him a big applause because he has taken so much of time and care for you. All of you, open up the mics. Is now all of you open up the mics and can say
Thank
that
you, sir.
thanks. Thanks and చెప్పండి
Thank you.
అందరూ.
Thanks,
All of you.
Srinivas garu.
All of
Thank
you,
you, sir.
all
Thank you,
of you.
thank you.
Let us each and every individual, because he
Sir,
has
even
taken
later
so much
also
of.
they need any clarification,
Yeah,
they can
yeah.
call me, sir. No
Yes,
problem.
yes, yes. So
Shri-
please, all of you
Srinivas sir.
say thanks to. Thank you.
Srinivas sir,
Yeah.
thank you.
Thank you. Welcome, welcome. Yeah.
Thank you. Okay, sir. Thanks, Andy.
Yeah.
We'll keep it.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
We
Thank you.
Rajia.
take, sir.
Oh,
Thank
Rajia.
you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you,
All
sir.
the best. All the best.
Thank you.